the Speaker of the Fifth Assembly, the man we've just listened to, His Excellency Governor Masari, members of the Federal Executive Council, of course, I've recognized my colleagues, principal officers, and members of the House of Representatives who are seated here, Honorable Ministers of Information and Finance, the Clerk to the National Assembly. I think the protocol is far too much that trying to follow through may amount to a joke. Permit me to say, let me hide under the established protocol. For me, once my boss and leader had spoken, I thought that should end the matter, because even speakers have their own speakers. But since you've decided to call me, and since I was enabled in this house and given a platform to speak for the house, I would never shy away from joining in the discourse. But first of all, let me thank the Speaker and the leadership of the House for enabling us to come back to our constituency, which is the House of Representatives, and for deciding that it is time to hand over the House of Representatives to the people who are truly the owners of the House, and it is called the People's House. I like the commitment of the present leadership to issues of engagement with the citizens. And it is like deciding that this is not an imperial house. It is the house of the people. And if there's any major malady affecting our democracy, is the collapse or failure of rational conversation. There's no platform where you can genuinely engage Nigerians to rationally converse. The moment you throw up a topic, it's like risking hubris. And you don't know where this hubris is coming from. And it is hubris mingled with ignorance. And where you have the merger of the two, it's like marrying Godzilla to Frankenstein. No conversation anywhere outside of decent settings like this makes sense anymore. It's either we're resorting to our fault lines, oh, this is a Hausa man talking, this is an Igbo man talking. Attacks begin to come from all angles. So it's been one of those major things afflicting our democracy, failure to have rational conversation. Secondly, when we come for events like this, it is not only good for us to speak for the people as representatives of the people. It's not good enough. To always consistently talk to the people, we must talk with the people. And it is forums like this that gives us the opportunity to engage with the people, not to speak for the people or talk to the people. And at forums like this, I suggest, Mr. Speaker, that nothing should be off limits when it comes to citizens' engagement. No topic should be off limit. Both the things that are good, the pleasant, even the ones that are not too pleasant. We should open up the space to engage in those conversations. And if I'm not going to sound controversial or stir the hornet's nest, sincerely speaking, you will indulge me some time. I didn't beg to speak, you invited me to speak. So let me say something that is nudging in my heart. the issue of how funds are processed in the National Assembly has been on the front burners of national discourse for quite a long time. And I think it is time for us to throw this challenge to our citizens without hiding anything. Not that they think National Assembly is hiding anything, no. You see, the reason why they keep harping or hitting at this soft spot, it is because those doing this know very well that institutions such as this institution of the National Assembly will be ineffective if they are subjected to public scorn. So therefore, they call us by names that we have not given ourselves. Or these thieves, these humongous allowances that they take home, and so on and so forth. You see, I was in a function of the National Assembly. Maybe one or two of us here can testify in one of our neighboring states here. Your Excellency, I will say something, but don't say I'm challenging the governors. The governor of Kaduna is seated here. So we were closing a management retreat. And then our host, who was the governor of the state, got up and to our faces was saying to us that we are thieves. And as a matter of fact, he was chastising the management for helping to cover up for us and then trying to protect us. So as that fora, as I would always do, I calmly listened to him. Thankfully, as speaker then, I had the last word. So when I got up to speak, I said, Your Excellency, you are an elder brother. I regard you as an elder brother in all respect. And we are all intellectuals here. You are even a senior intellectual. I am the junior intellectual. But as intellectuals, we don't join issues. So I'm not joining issues with you. But I will expand the issue you have raised. I said, for instance, now that you are campaigning for openness regarding finances of the National Assembly, would you lead this campaign among your colleague governors to publish monthly how much they take as security votes and how they spend it? And I said, again, expand this to issues of local government funds, the joint account the governors run. Publish it monthly. How much accrue to the account and how it is spent. And I tell you, I have taken the challenge before you. I will return to National Assembly. You are saying that our budgets are opaque. I will ensure that the National Assembly budget is released. And for the very first time, I got back to Abuja, called the clerk to the National Assembly. I said, release the breakdown of the National Assembly budget. It was then people beginning to see our bodies drawing from the budget of the National Assembly. Okay, this is for Senate, this is for House, this is for management, this is for National Assembly Service Commission, this is for Public Complaints Commission, this is for this, for this, for this. And they had forgotten that we have mammoths of it that draw from this money that accrues to National Assembly. So what he did, since he's a very clever person, what he did was to publish his own salary. I now called the clerk. I said, okay, go and publish what the speaker earns as well. I don't know whether they have increased it, Mr. Speaker. But when I was there, my salary was not up to 400,000 naira a month. So a young man in my constituency said, what is this thing about number 4 in Nigeria? You mean this is your salary? I can even hire you to work for me. So, you see, even when we talk about the allowances that people think they are humongous, too much money. Mr. Speaker, forgive me, the House will forgive me. Let me say this, and I'm saying it because it is the truth. My allowances, everything as a speaker then, was 25 million naira. I don't know if Alhaji Atiku is here. He was my accountant. I asked him, open an account for this money because I know that this money is not mine. Expectation from the constituents, expectation even from the members that think, oh, you are first among equals, so you should have more than the equal. And honestly speaking, there was never a time I took 1 naira out of that account home. So it is not a take home. You can never take it home, no matter how stingy you are. As a matter of fact, there was never a time that money lasted 3 days. Never. I'm saying this also that even honorable members who are here should let the deputy speaker and the speaker breathe. I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart. Atiku is here. He can swear to anything and say whether that money even lasted up to 3 days. One day he came to me to say that, Speaker, you cannot continue like this. In accounting, we call this balance sheet insolvency. We are insolvent. I say, what is the cure to insolvency? It's money. I say, okay, if we don't have, once I give you approval, borrow. When the money comes next time, make sure that you fill whatever hole you have dug onto. So whatever a member gets, citizens must know this. No matter how stingy that member is, because of expectations from our citizens, it is very difficult for that money to last for a month in the hands of that member. I'm sorry I'm taking your time. There was even a time I called one of my constituents that was complaining bitterly. I said, okay, this is the money I have. This is the file. One of my aides had the file of request from constituents. I said, okay, go and allocate the money. He sat down and said, wow, we didn't know that this thing is like this. And these monies are nothing. 50,000, 150, 250,000, maybe is the maximum a member is given out. But because there are so many out there in dire needs, there are flurry of these requests that consumes everything. So please, I want to say this. We all know that democracy is expensive. There's no country that is not complaining about the cost of running a democracy. None. So we have come to a point where if we think that this democracy is too expensive, maybe it may be necessary for us to call on our ingenious political scientists to sit down and craft an alternative for us that is cheap. Of course, the Chinese know this one better. They say that cheap things no good, good things no cheap. The Igbo people have helped us to domesticate this. They say that better soup, na money kill 'em. So, but if there's anything, any system of government that they know will be cheaper than this, please, they should bring it so that we can look into it. But please, honorable colleagues, we should never allow anyone to bully us, to surrender this hard-won democracy. Never. Thank you, and God bless you.